Hello and welcome back for another Torah Tuesday. I'm Dr. Carmen Imes, Associate Professor of Old Testament at Biola University. I'm excited to be back together with you this week looking at the covenant scroll of Exodus. We're in the section of Exodus that has the laws, and today we're picking things up in chapter 21, verses 12 through 17. These are laws prohibiting murder. So we'll begin as usual by reading my translation from the Hebrew, beginning in verse 12. One who strikes a man and he dies must surely be put to death. But whoever does not lie in wait, but the deity lets it happen by his hand, I will appoint for him a place to which he may flee. But when a man becomes heated against his neighbor in order to kill him with cunning, from my altar you must take him to die. One who strikes his father or his mother must surely be put to death. One who steals a man and sells him, or he is found in his hand, he must surely be put to death. One who curses his father or his mother must surely be put to death. Okay, well, this is an interruption to the pattern that we've seen so far in the covenant code. The pattern that we've been looking at has a key im, where there's two kinds of ifs that give us the major topic and the subtopic of each say paragraph or section of laws. This is a list of absolute prohibitions that interrupts that pattern, and all of them have to do with murder or severe disruption to family life. So the first category of murder is divided into two sections: accidental murder and premeditated murder. These are handled differently. So if a murder is accidental, that is, whoever does not lie in wait, but it just happens by accident, God lets it happen, then that person has immunity. And the way that's carried out in the ancient Israelite context is the individual can run to a city of refuge and take shelter by the altar there. So we can read about the cities of refuge and how that system works in Numbers chapter 35, verses 6 through 29, in Deuteronomy 19, verses 1 through 13, and in Joshua chapter 20. So you can read about what to do in cases of accidental death in ancient Israel. However, if someone is lying in wait, that is, a man becomes heated against his neighbor in order to kill him with cunning, that kind of murder, that kind of death is premeditated, so there is no immunity for the perpetrator. Even if they try to run to a city of refuge, you shall take them away from that place and put them to death. The death penalty pertains to them. In other texts, we find out that the person responsible to do this is referred to as the Goel Hadam, the redeemer or avenger of blood. In Numbers 35:19, Deuteronomy 19:6, and Joshua 20, verse 5, this individual is named. It's probably a close family member who would then be responsible for bringing justice to this situation. In a couple of places, Yahweh is referred to as being a goel, a redeemer, someone who pursues his people and sets them free. So this can be someone who redeems or someone who brings vengeance. It has both positive and negative connotations. The next command, the next absolute prohibition, is the murder of parents. This is the extreme opposite of what the Decalogue calls for, which is to honor one's parents. To murder one's parents is the ultimate form of cutting yourself off at the knees or sawing off the branch that you're sitting on. To murder your own parents, the ones who've brought you life, is antithetical to the way that God wants his people to live in honor of their elders. That command is together with the command against cursing parents, kind of a sandwich, a literary sandwich around the kidnapping prohibition in the center. So kidnapping is prohibited, as well as the slave trade. You can't take people and sell them. This is one reason why I refuse to call Leviticus 25 permission for slavery, for a slave trade with foreigners, because this command right here prohibits that behavior that would make the slave trade possible, even with foreigners. To kidnap someone, to remove them from their household or from their family, is to violate that household and to strip someone of their family context as well as their land inheritance. It's a way of killing someone. If your whole identity is wrapped up into your family of origin and the land that is your inheritance, then to be ripped from that context and sent away to work for someone else is a way of kind of like violating the personhood of someone. And so perhaps that's why this appears here in a list of commands that are serious enough to invoke the death penalty, and along with commands against murder. To kidnap someone is just as serious as murder because it's severing their communal ties. Finally, the command against cursing parents. To curse someone is not to kill them directly, but it's to call down harm on that person so that they die, which is why it's put here in this section against murder. So to curse your parents is to wish for their death, to wish for their harm. We see a similar example of this in Leviticus 24:11, where someone blasphemes God, calls a curse on God, and it's taken very seriously. Note that in chapter 22, verse 2, there is a provision for self-defense. If you cause someone's death when acting in self-defense, then you're not subject to the death penalty. So this entire section that we've just read through briefly upholds the sanctity of human life. We need to regard the lives of our fellow human beings as worthy of dignity, worthy of care. We need to uphold the right to life and the necessity for strong family units, not severing people from their families of origin. So we're still towards the beginning of what will be a long trek through the laws of Exodus. I am working right now on my commentary on Exodus. I'm in chapter 23, coming up to verse 19. It has been such a rich study for me as I've worked through these commands, so I can't wait to share with you what I've found along the way. I'm at the 2/3 point of being done with the commentary, and these weekly videos are a wonderful way for me to think about how to articulate what I'm learning, to share them with a wider audience, and to get your feedback. So thank you for watching. Thanks for your enthusiasm. It has been so great to hear your feedback, to engage with all of you as I work through this material. It's made it so much more communal. It doesn't feel so lonely writing a commentary when I'm engaging with you each week. So I would love to hear how you are engaging with Torah Tuesday. Do you watch by yourself? Do you watch with your family? Do you watch with a small group? Are you sharing these in a classroom or accessing them in a classroom or in a Bible study? I would love to know if you're watching them at your desk, if you're watching them on the go, if you have it as a part of your weekly routine, like every Tuesday morning you watch, or every Tuesday evening at dinner you watch, or do you just sit down and binge them every now and then and watch a whole bunch in a row at once? I would love to hear what your routine is with Torah Tuesday, and that will help me know how to engage even better. Plus, it'll just be fun to be able to picture all of you out there watching or listening wherever you are. So thanks again for joining me. Have a great week.